The death toll from coronavirus in the United States climbed to 6 people today.
All the victims are in Washington state. There are currently 12 states reporting cases of coronavirus. Wisconsin has 1 confirmed case. There are no cases in Minnesota at this time, but state health officials say they are ready for it. Today, Kate Raddatz learned how we have the ability to start testing for the virus. How's that work, Kate?
Well, Frank, Minnesota health officials worked through the weekend to be ready to begin testing for the virus instead of sending samples off to the CDC. Now, the governor said having this ability to test makes the state more prepared so that if and when a coronavirus case comes to Minnesota, health officials can detect it early.
We do believe it's likely that we will see cases, and potentially in the fairly near future.
Minnesota Department of Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm said the state is preparing for the event of the coronavirus making its way to Minnesota. There have been 5 people from Minnesota tested for the virus that came back negative, but now Minnesota will have the ability to test within the state.
The testing that now can happen as of this morning is a really good thing. We're able to, and I think the numbers we had, we're able to test up to 100 a day.
Still, the overall message was reiterated from state officials to be prepared, but stay calm, and that there was no reason to panic.
I don't think that panic should set in just yet for the general public, or I'd hope it doesn't.
I don't think it's the biggest worry that we need to focus on right now. Obviously, we need to find things to help out the disabled community and people with suppressed immune systems who could be in danger.
Research has shown people who are elderly or have health conditions are more likely to have complications, and the state has been keeping long-term care facilities updated on the situation.
The majority of the cases are mild, but we all owe it to the vulnerable folks in our state and in our communities to do what we can do.
Governor Walz said there are state funds available to prepare for a potential outbreak, and he is hopeful there could be federal help.
For Minnesotans to know the state is doing everything possible to make sure that we do our first priority, keep them safe, and when this incident arises, we will be there for that.
The governor also said he was having a White House briefing as well as a meeting with the Minnesota Hospital Association today to discuss the latest on coronavirus. Coming up at 6, I know many of you have been seeing store shelves looking empty, from hand sanitizer to certain food products, and I'll tell you what the Minnesota Department of Health Commissioner had to say about that.
Big buying weekend for people?
Definitely. We've been seeing a lot of postings on social media, so I know a lot of people had questions about that.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Thanks, Kate. Well, researchers in Pittsburgh are working to develop a vaccine for coronavirus. Our CBS affiliate there got this behind-the-scenes look at the safety precautions they take while working around the virus. It's more than just wearing rubber gloves. Workers wear full protective suits. The air they breathe comes from a self-contained breathing apparatus, and they still have a lot of work ahead before a vaccine is ready. Stocks rebounded today after falling more than 12% last week. The Dow finished up nearly 1,300 points, its biggest point gain in history. Investors worried about coronavirus are hopeful the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates later this month. Stay with WCCO and CBS News as we continue to track the impact of coronavirus.